That law is stopped. In this point, the law is stopped. That new law was a bill. Sorry, was introduced in January. But what happened with this moment?
Yeah, so the bill is still in consideration at the state level. And, you know, there's been a lot of education, right? It's not necessarily always the way that we do labor policy in the state, right? To like actually create a council and they actually get to decide on recommendations. So a lot of education has had to happen, right? A lot of lawmakers are curious, you know, about like, hey, what is this bill? Like, what exactly does it, you know, does it do?
I know.
So we're building the pressure.
Yeah, explain me quickly way the spirit of this parade is again.
So, you know, we're almost at the end of Women's History Month.
Okay.
And we want to recognize and celebrate all the women who are trying to make their workplaces a better place to work, a place where they can work and go home and be able to raise their families and retire with dignity at the end of their career, right? And so we are recognizing that, and we're also saying that women are overrepresented in the low-wage workforce.
I know.
You know, and so what we're saying is like, yes, we need to figure out how to bring all women up, and we also need to seek solutions industry-wide, right? Because there's a lot of industries where there are a lot of women and the conditions are really bad. And so what we're really saying is let's improve and transform entire industries.
Can you explain me these conditions, these law conditions?
Sure. A few things are things like wage theft. You know, there's widespread wage theft in the industry. So, you know, workers losing thousands of dollars every year. And these are single moms, sole breadwinners in their families. So, you know, wage theft is a really important issue that's facing workers and health and safety. There's a lot of toxic chemicals that are used in nail salons. You know, if you're breathing in those chemicals for 10, 12 hours a day, it's really, you know, it has some really serious impacts.
I know.
And so one of the things is around reproductive health. So a lot of women, you know, face higher like risks around complications during pregnancy, birth defects in their children, miscarriages, right? And we want to stop that. We want to put an end to that, right? Folks shouldn't have to go to work and be afraid, right, about what that's doing to their reproductive health and what that can happen, you know, what can happen with their babies. So, yeah, those are some of the big health and safety violations, and make sure that nail salon workers are able to work with dignity on the job.
What are some of the most, I wouldn't say complaints, but the biggest concerns in terms of what goes on in these nail salons and how workers are treated?
Yeah, so wages is a really big issue. The average wage for a nail salon worker in New York is less than the $15 minimum wage. We're seeing widespread wage theft across the industry. 80% of workers that we've surveyed and done research with have told us that they're losing thousands and thousands of dollars every year due to wage theft. And these are single moms. These are sole breadwinners for their families, and that really puts their lives into turmoil and their children's lives in turmoil. And it's just not fair, right? Everyone who works should be paid a fair wage for a day's work. And health and safety risks are a huge concern amongst our base of workers. Workers are not only facing, risks around serious illnesses like asthma, cancer, but reproductive issues, right? Reproductive rights need to be part of our conversation around workers' rights. Nail salon workers have a higher prevalence for complications during pregnancy, miscarriages, and birth defects in their children. Like, we have to stop this. It's infringing on their reproductive rights.
And so where are most of these workers maybe non-native English speakers? And does that sort of put them at a disadvantage in terms of maybe being undocumented immigrants or something of that sort? And where does that kind of come in? Where does that play a role in any of this at all?
Yeah, I think for especially immigrant women of color, there's huge vulnerability, right? And what kinds of jobs, right, exist, right, that are accessible to them. So I think there's a lot of challenges, and this is why we are pushing for sector-wide change, because there are industries where where it's dominated by women, right, and they're really struggling with low wages and poor conditions, not just in the nail salon industry, but in other industries, right? Like domestic work, for example. And so for us, it's about not just changing one person's job, but it's about how do we actually transform an entire industry so that it can work for everyone.
And tell me a little bit about the legislation that we're rallying for today. What's that maybe going to do?
Sure. So the Nail Salon Minimum Standards Council is going to create an industry council. And that's going to be made up of workers, small business owners, and government. And they're going to come and sit at the same table and really talk about the problems that the industry is facing and come up with solutions. And we want this to be a stakeholder-led process. We want to bring workers and owners together. It's tough. It's tough in this industry. And so how do we make this an industry that's going to be sustainable and that it's going to be good for our communities?
Is there anything that I didn't ask that maybe I should have? Anything you want to add?
Ahí le están explotando mucho en los salones. Aquí estamos con la coalición de trabajadoras de salón de uñas, que tenemos chicas nepalí, de Camboya, de vietnamíes y también hispanoparlantes, que son todos los países.
¿Y qué es lo que quieren ver? Yo sé que hay legislación que quieren ver pasar, ¿verdad?
Sí, queremos que pasen el acto o la ley o el consejo de estándares mínimos en salones de uñas. Porque al momento siempre estamos pidiendo una cosa, es salario justo o descanso, pero queremos lo mínimo, que es todo eso. Incluye salario justo, descansos, días de enfermedad, respeto de los empleadores, porque muchas cosas que no nos dan a los trabajadores.
¿Y qué tan pronto podríamos ver esta legislación ser aprobada?
Bueno, estamos esperando para junio que tengamos suficientes sponsors para que estén en el no tenemos suficiente el año pasado, pero este año sí estamos intentando.
¿Por qué es importante especialmente que todavía estamos en el mes de la mujer y en esta industria la mayoría, yo diría que son las trabajadoras, son mujeres, ¿verdad?
Exacto, como ustedes ven aquí atrás, mayoría son mujeres, algunos son hombres que apoyan a sus esposas, sus hermanas, pero asimismo, como ustedes ven, que mayoría son mujeres, pero también hay muchos estudios que muestran que la salud reproductiva está destruida por las condiciones que tienen en salones de uñas. Y es por eso que estamos aquí luchando para que le den esos estándares mínimos para proteger a las trabajadoras, que no le dan mascarillas que son adecuadas, no le dan guantes. Y ahí están expuestas a químicos el día entero. Se imagina 10 horas en un salón con acetona, acrílico y todos los otros químicos que utilizan. Y salen de ahí con quistes, endometriosis, todas estas condiciones hormonales. Entonces sí, estamos aquí luchando.
Merecen lo mínimo. Muchas gracias. ¿Cuál es su título y con qué organización?
Estoy aquí con NICOSH, o la Escuela de Salón de Uñas, y soy especialista de salud y seguridad. Tenemos una escuela y ayudamos a las chicas que consigan o obtengan su licencia permanente.
Muchas gracias, lo agradezco.
12 भनेर चाहिँ हामीले यो पास होस् भनेर हामीले यो डिमान्ड राखेको हो।
She said that I'm a national worker and what we're doing is we're running a campaign called All Hands on Campaign for the industry to raise the minimum standard. What we're asking for is the minimum demand. It's not a lot. We're asking the minimum demand within like any other workers would be benefited from. For example, like we're asking for pension and sick pay, which other workers in other industry have, but for us, like our ask is the minimum. It's a bare minimum.
Could we just get her to say, like, we are asking for this and this and this, like one sentence?
So now the Chinese couple in department, I mean, it's not equally how I pension, health care, fixed hours, okay, it's not the bonus, right? Okay. Listen.
हामीले मागेको हाम्रो माग चाहिँ पेन्सन कोही चाहिँ आवरको फिक्स हुनु पर्यो, भ्याकेसन चाहियो।
She said like we need a fixed
The Minimum Standard Council aims to fix.
minimum standard go. अनि त्यो बिललाई चाहिँ लाइक अब त्यही बिल पास भने चाहिँ के फिक्स हुन्छ? घन्टा पाउँछ, अहिले तपाईँले के भन्नुभयो नि, हो त्यो सबै पाउँछ भने त्यो भनिदिनुहोस् न। अहिले त्यो बिल भयो पास भयो भने अब छुट्टी पाउँछ, स्केड्युल प्रोटेक्टेड हुन्छ, तपाईँहरूले टर्मिनेट गर्नुपर्ने अब पैसा पनि लागेको हुन्छ, हो त्यो भनिदिनुहोस् न। त्यो मात्रै भनिदिनुहोस् न, त्यो पास
When I say welcome to James Power, welcome power, the workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated.
facing so many challenges, like frequent exposure to harmful chemicals, inconsistent hours, and unstable pay. Making these necessary changes would be a great start to protecting the lives of an overwhelming population of women of color who are the primary breadwinners for their families.
Los días están más ocupadas, las compañeras necesitan comer y los jefes les interesa más ganar dinero que ver que sus trabajadores estén alimentándose, que tomen un descanso. Hay mucha presión, hay muchas irregularidades en los salones de uñas. Contamos, no tienen lugar para comer. Tenemos muchas compañeras que están comiendo entre los líquidos, que están comiendo donde tienen la lavandería. No tienen un espacio digno para comer.
Porque este evento es de comunidad, estamos terminando ya el mes de la historia de la mujer. Es muy importante que tenga énfasis y que le haga saber a las mujeres. Nada más apoyamos a las mujeres porque son mujeres, pero también porque son trabajadoras que se han expuesto a muchas cosas por parte de sus empleadores y ellas solo están luchando aquí por lo que están pidiendo un buen salario, un buen trato y también están pidiendo que la salud reproductiva de ellas sea respetada y tengan acceso al cuidado.